At this point, I'm going to shape and file the free edge. I didn't do this prior to laying the acrylic for a reason. I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of room to lay my acrylic and shape and file the nail to my client's desired length before laying the acrylic. This is a preference. You can do it however you like, before or after, but I choose to do it after. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to take the file and just shape my client's free edge to a nice natural shape, square rounded. My client had a little bit of a flare in her natural nail on the edges here. And this is why I like to shape the nail after I've laid my acrylic, so that I have a nice, even laid layer of acrylic on the nail. A nice natural shape. Had I filed and shaped the nails before, the nails might end up a little bit thicker than I would have liked. And I would have to do way too much filing and shaping. Once you get good at laying your acrylic, you shouldn't have to do much filing and shaping at all. I could just go over my client's nails right now with a buffer after I finish filing and completely omit the drilling phase, simply because I laid the acrylic so flat and with no bumps or lumps. But we're going to do that phase anyway. You want to make sure that you're using a file that has a nice grit on it, about 100 to 180. Anything rougher than that is really going to be too rough for your client's free edge and sidewall areas. You could cause a lot of pain by using a file that is just too strong. So this hand is complete with the filing and shaping. I'm going to move on to the other hand. Some clients want you to make all of their nails completely even. Some clients would prefer to keep all of their nails that they've grown out. This is a preference, and this is something that you should definitely figure out during the client consultation stage. Now that I've finished filing and shaping the free edge, we're going to move on to drilling the nail, actual nail, to the desired shape. So you have two choices. You can file with a hand file or a drill. Like I said earlier, the drill is an advanced technique, so make sure that you have proper training before using it on your client's nails. If you prefer to use a hand file, I would suggest that you use a grit somewhere between 100 and 180 grit. I'm going to be using a drill today on my client. So we all have those nail techs that only hand file, and let's just be honest, it takes forever. Why on earth would you want to hand file when you have the option of using a drill? Like I said, it's very important that you have proper training when using a drill, but please, please take the time to learn how to use the drill. It will save your arms, your muscles, your life, and it will really, really, really make you more money if you can take the time to learn how to use a drill. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going in with a very fine drill bit, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting around the cuticle area very close without injuring my client. If you've added too much acrylic, this is where you can take the bulk down. You really want to get to the point where you can do very minimal drilling and save time and product. I remember once when I was learning how to use the drill, I used to do it strictly on my hands until I got used to it. And let's just say that a lot of Band-Aids later, I learned how to use the drill. And if you take time to practice, you will too. It just takes practice, preferably not on a client though. The drill is a very handy tool. Save you lots of time, lots of money. I would say that with practice, you could probably master the drill in a couple of weeks to a month if you work hard and take lots of continuing education classes on how to use it properly. Nowadays, they have things called safety bits that will keep you from cutting the client completely. If you're beginning, the best thing you can do is buy a safety bit. They're kind of hard to find, but you can go online and just Google safety bit and plenty of places will pop up. A safety bit has a rounded edge so that you cannot cut your client at all. The safety bit is good for learning, but you definitely don't want to get reliant upon it. You want to move on to the big boy toys at some point. But it's definitely good for learning, and I recommend anybody who's afraid of using the drill, get a safety bit. There's no excuse. Cut your time in half, make all the money you want by using a drill. Now that I've completed the filing stage, we're going to go ahead and buff the nails. This stage is very important. You want to make sure you do this so that you get a nice, clean polish application. I like to use a coarse buffer. You can use any type of buffer you like. This is a medium grit buffer or fine, but I prefer to use the coarse. Want to make sure that you don't injure your client. Try to go down from the cuticles towards the free edge when you're filing. Make sure that you are buffing the free edge. You don't want anything to snag on your nails. Make sure when you're filing that you're using the soft edge up against your client's skin so you won't cut them. If you use this edge up against the client's skin, you will surely cut the cuticle. So make sure that you're using the soft side up against the client's skin. Also, this buffer is sanitizable, and you want to make sure that you sanitize it prior to using on your client. When you're sanitizing a buffer, simply want to spray onto the buffer, like so. Very easy to do. And let your client see you do it. Something that I see a lot in discount salons is using the same implements on everyone. This is not sanitized. This is not sanitary. You want to make sure that every buffer that you are using, every file that's being used on you is clean. And a lot of these files and buffers are sanitizable. It's simply a spray of alcohol or disinfectant onto the implement. The last thing we want is a staph infection from a file. And I've seen it happen. Again, this step is very important if you want your polish application to be smooth and if you want the nails to be as natural looking as possible. Now that we've completed the buffing phase, I'm going to go ahead and oil my client's cuticles, send her to the bathroom to wash her hands, remove all the oil and debris, and then we're going to move on to polishing and embellishing the nails. When applying the oil, you want to make sure that you're dropping it directly onto the client's skin and not touching. We do not want to transfer any germs, and this is how you do it appropriately. Make sure that you are applying the oil all around the cuticles and rubbing it in. It's very important. We have removed a lot of moisture from our client's natural nails. In the cuticle area, we want to bring it back. And that's why the cuticle oil is so important. So you'll notice when I'm applying the cuticle oil, I'm using a dropping tool. The reason for that, and you'll notice in other discount salons, they usually take a brush directly from the oil and slather it across your hands. This is not sanitary. This should not ever be done. You are transferring germs from the bowl directly to the client's fingers. Now that we've completed oiling the cuticles, we'll send your client to the bathroom to wash their hands of all the debris, and next we'll move on to the polish and embellishing phase.